Yo. This is a Sandman. It's going to be auto-translated into English, so it's going to be butchered. But this is Sandman's This Guy Busted DHURANDHA'R'S Propaganda. I've been seeing a lot of this because a lot of people are just using the word propaganda. Even like on the Wikipedia page, it apparently says propaganda as well. I don't know. It seems weird that people just can't wrap their head around the concept of historical fiction being a genre. I think when it's like World War II, people are much easier to accept it, or like the colonial war or something. People have much easier time of accepting it. But when it comes to something that's like still recent history, a lot of people shut their minds off and immediately call out propaganda when it's just historical fiction.
Friends, when Dhurandhar Part 1 was released a few months ago, it deeply upset some of our country's most intelligent people. We could even say that they were jealous. After watching Dhurandhar Part 1, some said it was an anti-Pakistan film, making it useless, or that it contained too much nationalism, making it a bad film. Yeah. Some even tried to portray the film as political propaganda and defend their preferred government is an Edoti hound. Dhurandhar Part 1 doesn't mention Indian politics or Indian politicians much, nor does it directly poke any government of the time. Therefore, these people didn't have much to say against the film. For the most part, they simply talked about irrelevant things. Seeing their charade, the audience didn't take their...
Well, the relevant thing was the fact that it's positive towards like India's spy network. That's basically what it is. It's based off like, is everything that happens in that story, did India have a say in it? Probably not. Was India aware of it? Most likely. I'm pretty sure most things that happen around the world, most spy networks know about it immediately. That's just common sense. Most things that happen, the nations know before it gets out to the rest of the world, because especially when it's a neighbor like Pakistan. I mean, it just makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Comment seriously. Instead, they started mocking them, saying, look, what a bunch of jokers these people are. And you'll find proof of this by looking at Dhurandhar 2's pre-bookings and the first few days of its release, demonstrating how Indians have rejected the anti-Dhurandhar narrative spreading online. When Dhurandhar 2 was about to release, two categories of people were waiting for it. First, those who liked Dhurandhar 1 and wanted to see it, and second, those who couldn't prove the first part to be propaganda, so they wanted to see the second part so they could find some evidence to prove the movie was propaganda. And if I were to speak from my personal opinion...
I just went to go watch a good film. I love the first one, and I was excited to see the second one, so I guess I fall in the first category. For me, it was just an enjoyable film that, again, took history and kind of molded it to tell an enjoyable narrative. An enjoyable spy thriller. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. All these people hate comes out of... I don't know. I don't know where that hatred comes from. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. Like, I could understand if people were like, it was like blatantly obvious, super stupid. Like for me, I can't like war or Fast and the Furious or things that are so over the top they're just ridiculous. That's where I'm kind of like checked out, where it's like, no. But something that's a little more grounded, where there's situations where it was like just trying to be like epic, sure. But it wasn't overly ridiculous. It just kind of fit in the what they were building.
This movie didn't disappoint any type of audience. Aditya Dhar has created a full 4-hour film for those who wanted to see Jaskirat Singh Range's backstory or the closure of Hamza Ali Mazari's story. But for those who went to watch this movie with the intention of finding propaganda in it, Aditya Dhar has left some Easter eggs in his film, Anaswaram. In this film, he indirectly takes shots at people he personally dislikes, and then he adds something that will make all these self-proclaimed propaganda hunters in India get an orgasm. Aditya Dhar has included a cameo of Modi ji in this film, so that those who call this film propaganda can get some talking points, and they too can feel a little happy after watching it, thinking, let the movie end, I'll go home and tell people what a huge propaganda this movie is. Friends, before I proceed further in the video, I should inform you that this video will contain spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, watch it first, then watch this video.
I mean, at this point, who hasn't seen it? Who hasn't seen it other than like foreigners or people who, well, or people who have just not being allowed to watch it because it's banned in their area. But yeah, that's pretty much it. At this point, honestly, I don't think there are certain things where spoilers are important, where you don't want to, let anyone know, like the big key moments. When it comes to Dhurandhar, it's one of those films that you can always go back to and rewatch. It's not going to be one of those where spoilers are that important because it's just an enjoyable film. there are things where, like in One Piece, where you find out the lineage of like Luffy and his brothers, where you find out, like in Star Wars, who Luke Skywalker's father is. There are always these key moments in cinema which you just can't speak of. You can't say. Of course, everyone already knows the majority of it, but they're held sacred by people who absolutely enjoy it. But in Durandar, it's just like there really isn't anything there that could be seen as spoilers, because it's just an enjoyable film to go and watch, rewatch. Because it's just you watch it for a spy thriller, for an action film. That's really why you go watch it. It just it's the whole thing. It just shot so well.
So that your viewing experience isn't ruined. Even before the movie begins, a lengthy disclaimer appears stating that the film is fictional and that the events depicted in it should not be considered factual representations. Yet, those analyzing the film are treating it as if it were a state-sponsored documentary and that the director has fabricated facts. I watched a video on YouTube where the person criticizing the disclaimer itself. Whenever you go to watch a movie, a 5-minute disclaimer appears before the movie begins, which isn't just shown to you, but read out loud. But one part of this disclaimer states that all the characters in the film are fictional and have nothing to do with real life. But there's a catch. All the characters in the movie actually exist in real life. If I may point out one thing, the agent named Hamza they created is a fictional character, and all the other characters are real. So real life events are being evolved within Hamza's surroundings, making viewers believe they actually happened. So what else does a disclaimer mean? The guy made a movie inspired by real events, adding fictional elements of his own choosing. So Nodi, there are many characters in that movie inspired by real-world personalities.
This is the funny thing. It's just like, for some reason, again, like I said at the beginning, people just can't wrap their head around historical fiction. It's been a genre that's been a staple in writing for a long period of time. There's so many people who create historical fiction narratives for like World War II. There are so many people who just create these nonsensical stories. Again, Saving Private Ryan. That's not a true story. Anyone who watches that film thinking that movie is based on real characters, no. But the battles, every single battle they're referencing, every single incident that they were participated in while they're hunting for Private Ryan, those took place. But the characters themselves are all fiction. They're all fiction. Even Private Ryan. That's the thing. It's just like all these people just started immediately believing. It's like, no. It's just to show you the world and things that happened. And then you have a narrative built around it. And it's ridiculous how people go into it and then try to go like, no, propaganda. Like, no. Sure, there's probably a bias by the creator, but it's not a propaganda film.
So prevent people from seeing this movie and mistaking it for real, he already told you that everything in this movie is fake. And he didn't just show it in writing, he even told you verbally for 5 minutes. And even after seeing all these disclaimers, you're still questioning the creators, asking how they could portray so much as fake. So I have bad news for you. The only thing you know about cinema is your self-photo. After making such a stupid statement, this guy uploads a random clip to support his stupid argument.
Case was even filed in court, but the director says, no, I didn't make this about Major Mohit Sharma.
What he posted has a huge impact on our family, with Brother Singh tying him up behind his back, dragging him and beating him with sachets and durat. Mohit didn't do that. Now people in Pakistan watch this movie, we might be attacked too.
This clip is from a time when people thought the film Durandhar was being made about Major Mohit Sharma. His parents had a problem with the movie because they had no idea such a movie was being made about their son. And here, his mother is talking about the people of Pakistan, saying that if those stupid people watch it, they might attack us. They might attack us.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't want to piss people off, but eventually you just realize how stupid people are. Will some people believe that this is all propaganda and it should be taken seriously and this should be an act of war type situation? Yes, there will be retards out there who will literally latch onto it and be like, oh no, we can't allow. There are always going to be retards out there. Always. Why can't you just enjoy a film? Why can't you just enjoy a fun film? And I guess it's easier for me because I'm detached from the whole thing. It's easier for me because I'm like far away from it. I'm able to see it from afar and just have a good time watching it. But like the sheer ridiculous aspect of it, where it's all like people just can't seem to have a good time. can't seem to have a good time. I mean, I could understand where people in like Pakistan are unhappy with it. I mean, I could, well, if they were able to see it. I mean, it's banned there. I was gonna say banned there, but for like, I don't understand. But then again, a lot of people hate their own nation. I mean, every nation deals with people that hate their own nation, but it's just supposed to be a fun film. A fun film that gets you to feel excited about what the potential of a nation is. That's not propaganda. That's a biased film. It's supposed to get you excited about the future of your nation, not supposed to get you to despise whatever's happening because, oh, what we need is national unity. That's a very childish mindset to believe that national. It's like a kid in school that kind of thinks that everyone should get along. Everyone should get along, not understanding that the world is built of so many different people that we will never get along. The thing is, just we need to learn to accept each other's differences. That's the thing that we need to learn. But there's never gonna be we're not the Borg. We're not the Cybermen. We're not a hive mentality. There's not one queen that tells all the worker bees exactly what to do. Us human beings aren't insects like that. We don't have a hive mind. We're all individual. And a lot of people just for some reason are trying to push for this hive mind mentality across the entire globe, which is just literally impossible. We're not the Terminator. Come on.
Video has nothing to do with the actual Dhurandhar movie. But some third party wanted to show that he was talking about Dhurandhar. So my brother picked up the first thing he found and pasted it. Now understand the difference between the two types of movies. One is a dedicated sponsored movie and the other is a conceptual sponsored movie. First, understand the concept of dedicated. Look, this is my video. In this video, I go inside a college, I tour their campus, and this entire video is dedicated to them. Their name is in the title, their name is in the thumbnail, their name is throughout the video. And if you look carefully, this video has very few views, Why? Because it's a dedicated sponsored video, meaning the entire video itself puts the brand on. And on the other hand, I made a video which is a conceptual dedicated video in which there was a brand that sold franchises like Geo. I made a video in which I decoded the entire business of Geomart. At the end, I told people that if they wanted to do business like this, they should inquire with them. It has over 1 million views. Currently, there's an ad video that no one wants to watch, and another video that people want to watch. They're interested in that particular topic, and because of that interest, their chances of conversion are very high. And conversion in movies means soft influence, man. Look, here are these two movies about the Taj Mahal, and this expert is comparing them with his videos and explaining both types of sponsorship. Yeah. He has agreed to receive sponsorship for both videos. This means he either took money from them or something else. But does this guy have any proof that these two movies received any kind of money from any party to advertise their products? Advertise any invoices, any mailing lists, or any of those sting operation type videos where people always tell the truth? Obviously, he doesn't have any such evidence, and he hasn't even shown any such proof in his video. But he watched both movies which didn't align with his political agenda. So by default, he assumed they were sponsored. And the rest of his video is based on the assumption that the Dhurandhar movie is a You might remember that line.
Like, that's the thing. People need to stop talking about it, how that they just need to talk about it critically, or how they like target it directly, and like some things that you didn't like. What are aspects about it that you didn't like? That's how it needs to be spoken about. It can't be this nonsense that this generic nonsense that people keep stating. You can't just use the word propaganda. It immediately disvalues every other kind of argument. It's the same thing where you're trying to make a discussion and then people start calling you racist just because you're having a logical discussion. As soon as they start using words like that, like I was a supervisor at a job, and I was talking with someone, literally telling him how he had done something wrong and I needed to correct him on it. And then he told me he was feeling harassed. As soon as he said that, I was like, all right, that's one of those things. As soon as you hear it, you can't do anything. You can't do anything. Your hands are tied, because if that comes out, that's going to be a massive problem down the road. And a lot of people are using the word propaganda the way people use Nazis, the way people in the workforce will use the word harassed in order to silence every sort of form of discussion. It's the problem is with people doing that with this film, it's going to end up having propaganda, the word propaganda, have no meaning anymore, just like racist, just like Nazi, just like all these other terms. It's going to completely disappear. There's nothing wrong with not enjoying the film because you don't feel patriotic about your nation and you don't want others to feel patriotic about your nation. There's absolutely nothing wrong with feeling that way. The problem is, by using the word propaganda, you're devaluing what propaganda truly is. You're completely devaluing it. That's the main issue. People need to stop using that word when it comes to Dhurandhar. There's no point to use that word.
Spider-Man, great power comes with great responsibilities. And because you're incredibly smart as a director, you initially added a disclaimer saying, quote, whatever we're doing is within the framework of creative freedom. So tomorrow, no one can question you on legal grounds. You might think so, which I'll explain later. But aside from a few things, you can be questioned on ethical grounds.
I don't get it. Why is he wearing a mask at his own studio? Why is he wearing a mask at his own studio? It's annoying me. It's annoying me.
This director can be questioned on the same ethical grounds as this fellow for his propaganda video because both of their content is fictional. Aditya Dhar, based on his own assumption, labeled the previous government incompetent in his movie, and this fellow, based on his own assumption, labeled the Dhurandhar movie as sponsored, sponsored. The only catch here is that Aditya Dhar had already announced before his movie began that his movie was entirely fictional, but this fellow didn't mention even once in his video that the entire video he's making is entirely fictional and operates on assumptions. The media should even sell our already sold cinema. Look, this fool thinks our cinema was never sold. Until now, cinema was completely free. No one exerted any influence on it, and now with the arrival of Dhurandhar, our cinema has been completely sold. Someone should go and tell this idiot the history of Indian cinema and what kind of people controlled it at one time. And somewhere, their influence still lingers in Indian cinema. In fact, this Dhurandhar movie is one of those select films. Seeing it, Indian audiences were shocked, wondering what kind of film has come out of Hindi cinema that doesn't show love for Pakistan. But you guys tell me, should a movie maker in our country have so much creative freedom that he can publicly claim that Pakistan ruled our government for 70 years? That's exactly what he did in the movie.
I freaking enjoyed that. I enjoyed that little bit. That was a nice little addition to the story. The fact that Iqbal's father was just this completely irredeemable human being that you knew what was going to happen to him when you saw it. You already knew. Like, it was seeded in at the beginning. It was perfect. I freaking enjoyed that because it's just like, oh, when is he going to do it? And then it finally does, and it finally happens, and I was like, okay, good. You want him gone. You want him gone.
Before 2014, the Congress government was in power, and we all know that they ruled for 70 years. As soon as the Congress government is removed and the BJP government comes into power, the ISI people say, brother, our government didn't come to power this time either. Last year we were in power and we should have been in power this time too, but it didn't. That means you guys lost this time. That means Pakistan lost this time. That means the Congress government was operated from Pakistan. Is there any evidence to support this claim? There's no evidence. You know why there wouldn't be? Because there's creative freedom. The actual dialogue this guy...
No duh. Creative freedom. You can't have an argument and then completely disprove your own argument in your own when you end your entire sentence. It's like you have creative freedom. You can do what you want with the story in order to embellish it a bit more. You truly can. You have the opportunity to do that. And let's be honest, what nation doesn't have traitors in their midst? What nation doesn't have politicians that betray their own nation just because they want more money? Every nation suffers from this. Every party suffers from this. No party is special. I don't understand how people are trying to run defense for something that factually happens all around the world. All around the world.
Utters at this point is you said that only people of your choice would win the elections this time too. Now, you can interpret this sentence as you wish. Here, Aditya Dhar has fired shots at the Congress Party, claiming that it is the most favored party of terrorists. This doesn't directly mean that the Congress Party is being controlled from Pakistan. Rather, it means that if the Congress Party remains in power, Pakistan will easily carry out any terrorist attack it wants in India. Now, any thief with a thorn in his beard will be the first to defend himself, saying, oh, you're linking us to Pakistan. Do you have any proof? Is it something like this or that? This guy's own video is running solely on the assumption that the BJP paid Aditya Dhar. Now, you guys should consider whether you're a BJP supporter or Aam Aadmi Party supporter or a Congress supporter or a Congress supporter. You know, the mainstream media is sold, and most of the mainstream media is sold to the BJP. We can all agree on this. The funny thing here is...
Well, the thing is, all media is propaganda. All media is selling a narrative which is normally completely biased and not telling all the truths. I honestly feel you get more knowledge from YouTubers than you actually do from the mainstream media. Honestly, because they're the ones that are going into it. I mean, Nick Shirley has done more damage to Minnesota, has done more damage to California than any news organization ever could. And it's haunting when you're like watching the clips of like especially when COVID was out. You could copy paste the script that was spoken in every major news organization around the globe. They were all saying the exact same piece of dialogue. There are clips of it on the internet. It was so freaking eerie, so scary. I'm someone that never cared. If I get sick, what do you do when you get sick? You stay home, you recover, you go back to work. I didn't understand this fear of the virus. I mean, heck, maybe it would have taken my life. I mean, I got it for like 3 days. I was sleeping. I got better, got back to work. I mean, I wasn't going to get no injection of something I don't know what the substance is, because normally vaccines are tested and experimented with for like 20, 40, 60 years to see the longevity of it before they allow it to the public. And here they were giving people a vaccine to the world, which had no proof, absolutely no proof of longevity. And what's funny is the people who got the vaccine, they ended up getting COVID like 4 or 5 times. I got it once, fought it off, never gotten it again. And what happened to COVID? It no longer exists. It no longer exists. And it's funny how during that point in time, like if you look at the records of like the US, the like suicides went down, cancer deaths went down, and COVID was basically killing everybody. Or it's either COVID was the end all be all of everything, or even people who died in car crashes. Car crashes went down as well because everyone was dying of COVID. You know what? It was COVID that caused them to get in that accident. That's what was going on. It was insane. How is it when that happened immediately? Only COVID deaths were going on.
Is that this guy is pointing out that Aditya showed in his movie that the Congress party is being controlled from Pakistan. And he has no proof of this. So is Aditya a bad guy or is he spreading propaganda? But here he is making this claim without any proof. And he is, including you and me in this, saying that we all know that the mainstream media is sold to the BJP. Now, if someone here were to ask him what proof he has based on his claim that the media is sold to the BJP, they would probably be labeled a blind devotee, Dana Hako Asangi, or a Modi fanatic. But still, at the time when Modi is shown winning, the ISI is told, brother, we gave money to the country. So we funded the media, we funded the universities. Which university did you fund? And in the name of universities, whom do you want to target? Are you targeting JNU or some other particular university? The same university from where...
The character was there as a throwaway line where it's like stating all the things that they have tried and they are failing. Again, it's historical fiction. If anything, it's a bias towards patriotism where you're supposed to feel more excited to what your nation is capable of, to where there are people selling out your own nation. There are people who are trying to destroy the narratives of the young, or the minds of the young, by taking over the school system and pushing a different narrative. There are people like that, and then you're supposed to be like, yes, they did try and it's not working. That's supposed to be again. I'm so weird. Like I understand like nationalists are like a big issue, like they become like a problem to the rest of the world, but there's nothing wrong with national pride. There just isn't. There isn't. Like me, I'm a foreigner and I'm finding pride in it because it's just like, yes, I would love to see something like this about my own nation. I would. Something that's just like uplifting, that's just like, okay, yes, we do have the intel, we do have the know-how. I mean, it's how I felt like, well, no, I was feeling worse during like the Patriot Day film because it's just some of the scenes in there just make you want to cry. But oh my gosh, it's just, everyone's weird. Everyone's weird.
Slogans like Bharat, tere dukde honge humare chest, pare honge humare chest par. India will be torn into pieces, our chests emerge, or where students plot how to block India's chickens. Here, I would say that the movie accurately explains that our universities are receiving money.
I like how he used the Patriot. Because that's the thing I've been talking about the entire time. In order for some people to just understand what the film actually is, because some people just don't grasp it. They just can't grasp it.
From outside, which is why all these dramas are happening there. Because if someone tells me that students living within India are thinking all this on their own without any outside influence, then I think it's even worse that our own citizens are trying to destroy their own country without any outside influence. And wow, you sent money within a country during an election. How did you mention universities? How will universities help you win? Universities have students who are easy to
Yeah, they're the easiest influence. They're the brand new into voting. I mean, that kind of stuff happens in the U.S. as well. I mean, again, and none of this is exclusive towards India. There are always people. It is not just Pakistan that tries to do these attacks. The U.S. tries to do these types of things as well. It'll target schools in other nations. It will do the exact same thing. I don't understand how people are having an issue with it. Seriously, how do people have an issue with it? This stuff happens. It's not just terror organizations that do those kinds of tricks. There are politicians that do those tricks. There are nations that do those tricks towards other nations that they deem as an enemy. That's just how the world operates. I mean, sure, it sucks that the world operates like that. That's why you need to not be so close-minded and hear the word propaganda. Just like when people back in the day would scream Nazi, everyone would be like, oh my gosh, what now when someone calls someone a Nazi online, most people are just like, oh, he probably didn't wear a green on St. Patrick's Day. Literally, because it's lost everything. And propaganda's going that route. Which is probably a good thing. Let propaganda disappear. Which just makes it worse, because then they could easily make propaganda and everyone would be calling it propaganda, and it's just like, oh, well, that word has no meaning.
influence. By influencing them, you can get them to vote for your favorite party. And once a student's ideology is firmly instilled in them, they continue to support that ideology throughout their lives. Students studying in any university in the country are the future of this country. And if you control the country's universities, you can create a kind of pipeline where you can mass produce people who follow your ideology. But
as the movie reaches the 1 hour 20-minute mark, it announces a character named Dawood Ibrahim, the underworld Dawn, and it is shown that Pakistan's ISI owns Dawood.
the movie does not show that Dawood Ibrahim owns the ISI, but rather that Dawood Ibrahim works under the ISI. Major Iqbal also tells Hamza in one scene the ISI has hired Dawood Ibrahim, Major Iqbal, and all his associates to create chaos in India.
And literally 6 minutes later, at 1 hour 26 minutes, it's shown that Pakistanis entered Kashmir and attacked Uri, killing 17 of our soldiers. Now, you guys should go fact check this. Yes, it happened in 2016, but again, they presented a fact and a so-called statement, which you people call creative freedom.
Which statement? That Dawood Ibrahim owns the ISI. You made this statement. Nothing like this is said in the movie. Moreover, in the scene where Hamza meets Dawood Ibrahim, there's no mention of Pakistan planning a terrorist attack in India. And if you watch the Uri attack scene, Hamza and Alam look at each other as if they had no idea about this terrorist attack or that something like this was going to happen. So if you have a little more intelligence, you have more intelligence than this guy. Okay. So you might also think that this movie portrays the Uri attack as an inside job. If the attack had been planned in Pakistan, Hamza would have known about it. He could have informed Ajay Sanyal about the attack in advance and the attack would have been stopped in the attack. But that didn't happen because Hamza didn't know about the attack.
But if you spend even 5 minutes trying to verify their facts, you'll find all the facts are missing. For example, at 1:26, they showed that there was an attack on Uri. Then at 2:04, they showed that the SP was killed. Who killed the SP? Balok. How was he killed? He was traveling in his car convoy when the Balok came from behind and killed him. But if you cross-check this on the internet, the death occurred exactly as shown in the movie.
You're saying that all the
So, I mean, that's the thing. I don't understand his argument, because he's literally talking about how they use creative liberties. Yes, it goes with the genre. It literally goes with the genre. I mean, that's what you do. That's what you do. That was one of the best shots, because you were expecting, like, I was expecting this big boss fight, and then all you get is just him on the phone, and then boom, it's just like, okay, this is perfect. This was a perfect way for it to go. Because it's just, I wasn't expecting it. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. And then everyone in the theater was laughing. Everyone in the theater was laughing. It's just like, okay, I see that. I see that one. That one was great. That was great.
facts are missing, then you're claiming he died in reality the same way he did in the movie. So what exactly are you trying to say? You don't even know.
In the movie, the SP's death was shown after 2016, but in reality, he died in 2014. And why did they keep the SPP character alive for 2 extra years? Because
they wanted to make it look cool. Duh. I mean, it's that. Oh my gosh. There's so many retards out there. There's so many retards out there. It's just like, what the heck? What the heck? I mean, and that's what's funny. How do these people get so much traction? How do they get so much traction? They're just retarded. They're just retarded. It's just like that. There's nothing. Whatever.
they had to spread another new propaganda campaign called Greenleaf.
The Operation Greenleaf section begins after SP Chaudhary's death. And in reality, SP Aslam's involvement in the black money operation in this movie isn't significant. In the movie, when Hamza first visits Dawood Ibrahim, Dawood asks Hamza to deliver drugs to India, Bani. Dawood orders Major Iqbal to tell SP Chowdhury to stay with Hamza until Hamza delivers the drugs to India, Amr. Meanwhile, he tells Kanani to deliver 60 crore rupees to India. Now, two units are actually formed here. One unit handles drugs and the other handles money. And before these two units can cross paths, SP Chowdhury dies in the movie. Overall, what I'm trying to say here is that what this guy is saying, that he was kept alive for 2 extra years so he could be involved in Operation Greenleaf, is a complete lie. It is a complete lie.
And if you've seen the movie or are going to see it, you should notice this. How did they represent this? They first presented a fact, Jody, that too, with a real clip of Modi claiming that he had demonetized the currency, and then they threw in a random claim that 0.000 crore was being sent to Uttar Pradesh to rig the UP elections. So, again, one thing is fact, and the other is not. How will your mind process this?
Our minds process this quite normally because
It's a movie. I mean, I think that person probably has an audience who probably just hate everything and just want to always find a problem in everything. They can't just enjoy something. That there's nothing wrong with that. You just need to enjoy something. The Indian government should take his Indian citizenship. I don't believe he's an Indian. There's no possible way. But then again, there are a lot of people who are. I'm more Indian at heart than he is. I am more Indian at heart than he is. It's just that stuff makes no sense. That stuff makes no sense. But again, why did they have that throwaway line about them paying universities? Because it pumps out morons like him. It pumps out morons like him who hate the nation and will view anything that puts the nation like a patriotic kind of light. They despise it. They despise it. And always those kinds of people who get pumped out of those colleges which have been bought and paid for by foreign governments, they always use these strong words, Nazi, racist, propaganda, devaluing those words because a lot of people, when they hear those things, when those words first start being used, they're like, no, I don't want to be involved with that. Oh, that person is a Nazi. No, I don't want to be involved with that. Oh, he's racist. I don't want to get involved with him. Until it's been used for 15 plus years, and then everyone just hears it and it's like, oh, okay. He was wearing white after Labor Day or whatever it is. It's just something absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. The thing is like now it's the word propaganda, and it's been used as like a trigger word in India. Give it another 10 years, and every time someone hears that, everyone will just roll their eyes. They'll just roll their eyes and go like, ugh, it's just someone who's unhappy. It's someone who's not patriotic. That's literally what it's going to become. That's going to be the new term of that, the word propaganda. Somebody who hates their own nation. This is just how it goes.
First of all, this movie is a fictional film where anything can happen. And secondly, it's also a fictional film where anything can happen. If your brain can process even such a simple information properly, then I think you need a doctor.
At 2 hours, 12 minutes, 35 seconds, Modi announces, brother, we have demonetized the currency.
Oh, thank you for the 20 Indian rupees. Thank you for that.
See? What? At 2 hours, 12 minutes, 50 seconds, Pakistani ISI agents are beating their chests, begging what Modi has done, and the entire theater is shouting, brother, what has our Modi done? Listen to the exact line of the movie. It's now impossible to stop them. Listen to the next line. Can't you see the T-cellar has burst in?
As far as I know, the idea of demonetization in the movie comes from Ajay Sanyal, who says we have to demonetize. So the main credit for this goes to Ajay Sanyal. Furthermore, in the movie, Hamza is also credited for this, as he was the person in Pakistan who noticed that counterfeit currency was being manufactured there and passed this information to India. Modi's role in this is simply that he announced demonetization, and that's it. The villains in the movie who are abusing Modi will naturally be abusing him because he announced demonetization. If Ajay Sanyal had made such an announcement, he would have been abused. If Hamza had made such an announcement, Hamza would have been abused. Now, once in the movie is it mentioned that Modi is the mastermind behind this demonetization, and India has benefited greatly from this demonetization.
Why is it they always do that? Like, there are people who do Trump on like a Superman type of costume. Here we have Modi on a Superman-like costume.
If you look at this demonetization section without your propaganda glasses, you'll understand that this entire demonetization drama is being staged so that Jawed Khanatry's death can be shown in the movie.
You're picking up Modi's nonsense. You're making up a random story and justifying it, and at the end, you're getting our enemies to shout out Modi. If you have the courage, explain the reason. You made a movie to justify demonetization. The government that implemented demonetization hasn't been able to justify it in 6 years.
Well, sequence in the movie says that demonetization benefited India greatly. Except for the fact that Javed Kanani was killed. What was the condition of India after demonetization? How did it work there? None of those things are shown even once in the movie.
No, they weren't going to show it because it was treacherous. It was a lot of people took their own lives in the situation. They were trying to show a positive aspect of it. I mean, there's in the fact that I even know that. It's like I was talking with my wife and she was like, yeah, when it happened, she had a ton of money. She couldn't go and turn it in and get it swapped out. So what she did, she just got a ton of chips. Like a whole factory worth of chips. And it's just like, okay, or whatever it was. But yeah, it's just like, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. It was tragic. But you want to show different aspects because was India aware of what was going on with the money rolling in? Yes, they did have an idea, but they weren't going to show the tragedy that India suffered because they wanted people, like the creators wanted people to see like the positives that came from it, not the fact that so many people suffered due to it, because everybody already knows. I mean, you change the currency, everyone's going to suffer from it. Everyone's going to suffer from it. I mean, my wife says that we still find bills in grandmother's, like around the house of grandmother because they're tissue paper now. They're tissue paper. You can use it to wipe yourself because they no longer have any value. They no longer have any value. But she, my abuela did the same thing. When she passed away, she had thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just tucked away in random spaces. After they had thrown away so many things, one thing shattered and they found out that there was tons of bills hidden in between the cabinets and things like that. So, but yeah, grandmother's, her rupees are completely worthless because the demonetization happened and she just didn't know where she had put everything, where she had hid everything. And that's just how it happens. That's just how it happens. But a lot of people suffered because of that.
Instead, we're only shown the end of Pakistan's story, which no one knows anything about. So in his fictional story, the director used demonetization as a tool to kill one of his fictional villain. So what a mistake he made.
The entire movie is designed so that you first state a fact, then introduce a random story, which you can call creative freedom. And what would the combination of the two be doing? It would be damaging Pakistanis and the public would go crazy. And this is what cinema keeps calling playing on people's emotions. But if people aren't learning something positive from those emotions, deciding their votes, then you're a threat to the country.
So they found the director of this movie are the risk because what decide. Therefore, after watching his fictional movie, Matiapa, and the anti-BJP narrative that people have been trying to propagate on the internet for so many years, has been countered by this one movie, Weeby.
You guys, switch off your urge for revenge against the Pakistanis for 2 minutes and analyze the entire scene again to
I have no urge for revenge. What are you going to tell me? How are you going to explain your argument towards me? I have no leg in this race. Is that the correct term? Yeah, I have no leg in this race. I'm in the United States. I saw a good film, and then all of a sudden I'm roped into this weird conflict where people just can't seem to understand historical fiction. That's why I did a spoiler review for the film, and I literally had to state at the very beginning historical fiction. I think I said it like 4 times throughout because some people just can't wrap their head around that concept. It's insane. It's insane. Oh, one thing I'm actually concerned about is the new Harry Potter. Yeah, that's gonna. Well, that's already going to fail.
Understand what just happened. An Indian agent sitting inside Pakistan provided intelligence that 0.000 crore would be coming to India through Nepal on November 15th. So Modi banned all currency notes.
The movie shows Ajay Sanyal's plan was to ban them, so he got the old currency banned. The movie only uses clips of Modi's demonetization, which serve only to increase the immersion of the scene.
Yep.
So the same thing happened if our agent...
That's the thing, because if everyone remembers the first film, every time there was news in the background, it was about something devastating that happened in India. Devastating that happened in India. The 26/11 attack. It was just like assaults on Kashmir. All kinds of bad situations was all in the first film. In the second film, every time there's like news in the background, it's normally something like positive. It's always like, oh, India has thwarted this. They've imprisoned this. They've done that. It's just like every single time. This person was shot down by an unnamed man. Every single time it was more positive. Because in the first film, anytime a news article popped up in the background, I was always like, oh, this is going to suck. And then the second film, it's like, okay, what are we getting now? What are we getting now? Because it changed the entire messaging of it right there. Where it's like in the first film, you see that India has no say in anything. But as Hamza gets more into it and starts becoming the dawn of Lari, I think the town was called Lari. As he becomes the dawn, that's when India starts winning on the news. That was just a form of narrative. Anyone who understands, like, again, I went to school for film. Anyone who understands film, that's a perfect way of shifting it. They use the news. I mean, it's just, again, historical fiction. What the crap?
Thing inside Pakistan had said that there could be an attack in Delhi, and Modi would have said to leave Delhi and relocate to UP and relocate to evacuate Delhi. No one would go inside Delhi. Delhi was barricaded. All the 2-3 crore people living in Delhi were shifted to different locations.
Actually, the same thing would happen in the real world. If an attack is coming that's practically unstoppable, say makarahay. Misal isa to sa daw makarahay si makarahay hit kasalli hindi yan. Hit makarahay hitting your city in hour agaw and kariba sakto to na kasak mahay. And your people don't have the capability to intercept it. The area where it's going to land will be evacuated.
If you know the money is coming on November 15th, you're not going to stop it, right? You're not going to make the entire country stand in lines for the next 6 months.
The movie says all the money will arrive by November 15th.
Yeah, the thing is that they didn't know how it was getting in. I'm pretty sure that was well established. They knew the money was made. They didn't know how it was getting in. Like, that's what Hamza was trying to figure out. Like, even with the drug, how was the drugs getting in? What was the pathway they were using? What section in Kashmir did they cross? There's so many little things that they reference, so that way morons who are trying to debunk everything will listen to it and be like, ugh, okay. But they're not.
It's not explained exactly when and at what time. And are you thinking that all the currency will be sent from Pakistan to Nepal in one consignment? Then a guy will pick up those notes, put them in his bicycle carrier, and then stroll into India to land. If you're thinking this, please.
That's the thing, is like they literally showed what was it? 60,000 crore rupees look like. There was the first floor. There was the second floor. Just so you know that, yeah, it wouldn't have been brought in one shipment. It would have just getting pumped into the system over time. That's just how it works. Well, the only thing the country could have done was to be cautious.
Don't think so, because the plot of this movie is that if money reaches Nepal, it will inevitably enter India from there. That's why they decided to ban the old notes. Now, you can argue, yes, this could have happened, that could have happened, this could have happened, that could have happened, that could have happened. But this is the story of the movie. And as for the real demonetization was done to bring out fake notes and black money. This couldn't have happened without banning the old currency. Yes, here we can definitely say that their plan to bring out black money completely failed, because the people of India are very resourceful and the majority of people converted their black money into white. But this doesn't mean we should completely deny the intention behind demonetization.
Tomorrow they got a new machine. You'll be forced to stand in lines again. You'll just keep changing notes. It's not like a single card, brother. If a few cards get bent, we'll get a new box.
This guy is abusing the real-life Modi because of decisions made in the movie. The guy who's making the video and trying to convince others that the movie is made in such a way that the things happening in it will seem real is himself abusing a real person, thinking the events in the movie are real. Wow, peak detailing by DHURANDHAR'S. So friends, I think we'll have to cut this video here because it's already quite long. I thought I'd cover 2 or 3 people in it, but now it's already so long that I can't continue. We've probably made a part 2 of this video, but we can't say whether it will be made or not. So thank you for watching this video. We'll see you in the next video with a different topic. Until then,
oh my gosh. Biggest enemy of Hindus are not Muslims, but Hindus. Like, oh yeah, he's still there. Yeah, he's always. I swear he doesn't believe what he's talking about. He's just a troll. He's just a troll. That's just how he is. But yeah, honestly, the biggest threat to a nation is the people who hate their own nation, that live in the nation, who were born in the nation, reap the benefits of that nation, and then for some reason despise it. And the same thing happens in the West. The biggest threat to the West are the simps and Karens that clearly have no concept of the world, yet believe themselves right. The biggest threat to the nation is always the people within the nation, because they get targeted at, guess what? Schools. They get targeted at schools, which is why they had that throwaway line in there, because it is relevant. It is relevant. Oh my gosh.
You guys got a video? There is some don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait, wait,